Howdy, hackers, and welcome to another episode of FairLight TV. This one has been boiling for some time. This time it's going to be an interview with Magnus Pantaloon Sjöberg. He's been the driving force behind the C64 demos since 2010, and prior to that, he was the driving force of the PCD demo scene. So he has been contributing massively to the FairLight demo section for decades, and we're really happy to have him on board. So there will be a history on sort of where he came from, the groups he's been with, and the people he worked with throughout those years, and also a bit of a glimpse on his professional career, what he has been doing during his professional career. And in the last part, we will have a look at a number of PC demos, one Amiga demo, and then C64 demos in the end. So there will be pieces for both you PC fans, Amiga fans, and C64 fans, having Pantaloon explain a few of the effects we are seeing on the screen, and a bit more around that, a bit of a contextual stuff around all of them. So I hope you will find this entertaining. It will be another almost 2 hours long episode. Sorry about that. It's just that we have so much to talk about, and there are so many good demos that I would like to have his view on. So it took 2 hours. If you find that to be too long, then pause in the middle and go and eat and then return. It will be a well invested 2 hours of your life. So over to Magnus. Hello and welcome to FairLight TV. A long time awaiting guest. Pantaloon, Magnus Sjöberg, welcome to the channel.
Hello, Pontus. It's nice to finally be here.
Yes, and I've deliberately kept you waiting because you were not a big fan of the marketing and PR thing. Your general opinion was that the demos should speak for themselves. So that's why I kept you waiting.
Yeah, well, it's fun to be here.
Cool,
The
cool. Have
FairLight
you
TV
seen any
turned
of
out
the
quite
Have you
nice.
seen any of the previous episodes?
Yeah, I recently watched. Was it Louis? Perhaps
Yes.
was the latest.
Yes.
And then I watched the SEAH was really interesting. Both of them.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite.
It's really interesting that if I split this into two, and let's say there are 1,000 people watching the first one, it's only like 500 watching the second one, and most of the time the second one is, if possibly, even more interesting than the first one, especially with Sarge when he's showing his techniques of actually drawing. I have no idea why that is. So that's why we've sometimes had really long ones, because I'm hesitant to cut them into two, because I know that people will miss the second part.
The Galahad interview was also in 2 parts, right?
Yeah.
But that's also interesting.
Yeah. So cool. We all know you as Pantaloon, but now we're getting really back into time to when you were the guy Embryo in 1989.
I can hardly remember that.
Yeah. So describe your first steps into owning a computer and learning to master it.
Well, we got the Commodore 64 quite early, I think. Like it was in 87 or something, I think. And I have 2 other brothers, but they were not allowed to use the computer because I was sitting it with 24/7.
And are you the older one, or?
No, I'm the middle one.
Okay.
And it turned out that none of my brothers are interested in computers nowadays. That might be that I stole the 64 all the time.
Well, I mean, if you take your interest in computer and distribute them over 3, I think the average is sort of average. So
yeah, could be.
So so Embryo or Star Kids, was that it?
I think Stark. I have a little a problem here because we had the name was Star and then Star Kids, or Star Kids or then Star. I can't remember in which order.
You ping pong back and forth because
It was Stasi who changed the name because he couldn't. He changed it to Star because he didn't want to make a huge logo, and Star was just fewer letters.
So Stasi is Christoph. What's his name?
Henry,
Christoph
Philip Henry,
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
who later
talking
joined Noise with all of the rest of us, basically.
Stasi. I guess. I mean, that's that handle. There are a number of handle that didn't really age well, and I'm not really sure that that was cool even back then. But he's a really nice guy. I sat next to him in the bus to the party 3, I guess it was.
I haven't met him in like many years.
Let's see if we can comment, ping him in the when we post it, so he will for sure see the reference to him. So hi.
Hello.
And so, and looking at Star Kids on CSDB, it's really interesting, and you can see a clear theme in your choice of name of productions. They are all referencing hangovers and puke.
Yeah, we were teenagers, so that was fun at the time. We were basically me and Organic was another guy in that group. We were really close friends. And we only did C64 demos when we were really drunk. That's how we met Stasi and Heat and everyone, and we were really drunk at some random party, I think.
But Organic is not somebody I heard of. Was he only like a local one and
Yeah,
never continued on?
I think you've met him once or twice at or demo scene beer in Stockholm. He worked with Mr. Zed.
Okay.
At some military thingy.
Okay. Yeah, well, remind me the next time we meet him, and I will say hi to him especially then. Stasi, I know, but what about the other guys? Was this a local? I mean,
Stasi was from Stockholm.
Stasi from Värmdö, no, or even Ekerö, I think. So he's very much Stockholm.
I can't remember how we met him. I think it was Heat. Heat is like kind of local. It was local. He's from Orsa, and it's not that far from Borlänge, where I came from.
So and here we have to be really clear that in parts of rural Sweden, close could be like 500 kilometers. It's still close.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Heat was a swapper, so he had most of the contacts.
Yeah,
so I think that's how we met Stasi.
Cool.
But I can't really remember because it's ages ago.
Yeah. And the next name I have here is Hypnosis, and is that sort of the next group? And the number of members listed under CSDB in Hypnosis is basically you, I think. So
can't remember. Did we release anything under that?
Yeah, there was some puke, hangover, puke, something. Yeah, so very much still hangover and puke.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it was like an Amiga coder who was living in Säter, the town where Wiklund now lives in, who wanted to do 64 demos, and he had a name for a group, but he didn't do anything. So I just did a puke demo, I think, out of it because he didn't help out.
And Säter is known for only one thing. It's sort of the prime mental hospital of Sweden.
And two things, and Wiklund lives there.
Yeah. That would be the other thing, but great. And I think it was under Hypnosis where you changed, or was it Noise where you changed to Pantaloon?
Yeah, I think it was when we were going to form that group with the Säter guy that I just changed because Embroy was so cheesy. Not that Pantaloon isn't cheesy, but I wanted something new, so I just picked something. I can't remember how I got the name either.
I'm sure you were wearing trousers when you picked it, so
yeah, I must have.
For a change.
Yeah.
And so this is a period between 1993 and 1995. So what would be the sort of the prime learnings from the Noise period? Any special contacts or any special releases you would like to mention from that period?
No, but when we joined Noise, most of us, it was me, Stase, and Heat who joined Noise. That was really fun because they were like real demo sceners. We were just fake demo sceners. So it was really nice to meet Gnilk and Mace and those guys. And I'm still friends with them today. And Swoffa and the rest.
Fredrik Kling.
Yeah, he's a really fun guy.
And and Swoffa is Simon Oskarsson, and Swoffa is one of the things I've been referencing a number of times in the channel is the setup with Sublime as the editor and then Kick Assembler as the assembler, and the glue that ties that together is Swoffa, so Simon Oskarsson. Really good stuff. Really good stuff.
We had some party here in Borlänge. I can't remember which year it was, but it was 97 or 98 or something, with Noise and Tassa Doom and some other groups. It was really fun, where the whole Noise was here.
So in CSDB sort of lists you as Noise member between 1993 and 1995. So
you shouldn't ask me about years.
No. I'm that's why I read up on CSDB. So if it's not on CSDB, I'm totally clueless myself. So
yeah.
And the next part was Triad. I think that was sort of the first time I heard of you, that when you were in Triad, and that was really brief. That was only a few months, right?
Yeah, because I used to hang around with Tao in Triad and my Mindflow and what was Joyride, because they all Mindflow came from the village where I live now in Basna, and the Joyride and Tao were living in Borlänge studying there. So I used to hang around them, and I promised to make a demo, but I managed to get some code out, I think. But I usually just played mud. I was quite uninterested at that time with coding.
It was, and your platform here is all C64, right? Because I mean, 1996, it's still sort of pre-Amiga, so you couldn't have gone Amiga by that time.
Nope. That was C64, and then I got kicked out of Triad. I can't remember when. Probably after a month.
And this is where it's getting a bit difficult for me, because to be honest, I think you then went to Razer 1911 on the PC, or what happened here? Because the next thing I have is you joining FairLight in 1999, and
I can't remember when I joined Razer, but that was kind of I want to do some PC demos now.
Yeah,
because I did some Amiga in between, like with the same local friend Organic who I used to run StarKids with. When we released a few demos that might be somewhere on the net. Can't remember.
Okay, so your Amiga period is here must be really brief. If you went like C64 and then Amiga and then PC, but Amiga needs to be really short, because
I think it was a summer where me and Organic were going we're going to make some Amiga demos now. But we ended up just drinking beer. Basically.
Yeah, I can see where that's coming from. So, but I mean, to be honest, reading up, and of course, I do prepare for this. I would like to highlight that, and I'm a bit surprised that I found so little references of Amiga. So, what's your sort of general relation with the Amiga? You had one, but you never really did anything, or?
I still have one. Two I have. I still code on them, but I haven't made like a mastodon demo, like super huge demo. It's just small effects.
Yeah.
It's a fun computer.
We do have a section in the end where we will have a look at the number of the stuff you've been doing, and if I look at the stuff that you proposed that we should look at, it's only one little Amiga thing. It's basically one of those snorkel scrolls, and that was it. And I didn't really find any evidence of you doing anything bigger than that. So
there might be some demos if you look at Demo Zoo or something.
Yeah, I did Poe though only, and. Okay, so you did a lot of PC for FairLight up until 2010, and then you moved to the C64, and I know this is sort of a sore point, but let's poke in that sort of sore point because I think it's really interesting for the listeners and viewers to hear about that.
Yeah. So that was around the time that the FBI had lots of busters on groups around the world. I think we had one in our IRC channel, so it got me thinking, like, this is probably not good to be affiliated with this right now.
Yeah, so we had Operation Fastlink and Operation Buccaneer, and FairLight was mentioned on Department of Justice homepage and all of that. And I mean, to be honest, you know a number of the guys. I guess you know Basilisk and the Holy Beast and a number of those involved,
Yeah.
and you were hanging out and chatting with them on the IRC channel, but. I mean, for all I know, you didn't do anything related to that part. You just knew the guys.
Yeah, but I mean, you get scared anyway because you don't know what.
Yeah,
what's
well,
going to
eventually you
happen.
can become collateral damage, and if you die as a collateral damage, you're still dead. So it's
exactly.
yeah.
I shield a bit there with PC for a while.
Yeah, and that moved you to C64, which
Yeah.
is a good thing.
I can't remember which year that was again. That was like in 2010 or something, yeah?
Yeah, if again, looking at CSDB gives you a rather good timeline for the C64 side, and you started releasing demos on the 64 around 2010, so.
Yeah, that sounds like... Because I was at work, both Danko and Louis worked there. They were Danko was not doing anything. He was just drinking beer. But I wanted to get him involved again because I really like him as a musician. He's really, really, really nice.
Yeah.
So I just started with some effects and then I talked to Louis at some release party at DICE, I think. But then we just started to do stuff. And Louis hadn't done any 64 prior to that. And he found it really fun to pixel paint again.
Yeah. I mean, let's say he's slightly talented. I'm not.
Yeah.
Danko is for sure really talented as well, but I think I have a better understanding of graphics than I have of music. So I really like Louis' stuff, especially the panda that we will eventually have a look at. I really like the panda with the shuriken.
There are very few artists that are like technical as Louis is. There is Pal of Offense. Yeah. Both are amazing to work with because they solve problems for you. You don't have to solve everything. Everything you don't have to solve yourself. They solve most parts themselves. Oh, we can do the art like this. It will work. This will save cycles here and there. Both of those guys are like that.
Not pushing a picture saying this is what I want. You can give them like a framework that we need to have like 3 colors. And could you manage this in 3 colors?
And soon you learn that. So you just say, no, I can't use this. And then they start work harder. And then they produce shitloads of stuff.
Yeah. Well, let's go into that part because I mean, the C64. You joined FairLight doing a number. Well, you migrated the C64 2010 and started producing a massive amount of really impressive demos. This is sort of the heydays of the FairLight demo section when Panta was driving that. But we also collaborated with a number of people in during this. So Offense and Prosonics on the 64. You worked with the CNCD and the Black Lotus on the PC, and Sensor in We Come in Peace, and Bonsai and Genesis Project in Rivalry. So, but you seem to always like working in a bigger context than just FairLight, right?
Yeah, because I kind of need an artist like Louis or Pal. Otherwise, it's or the Sarge now.
Yeah,
like one of those 3 guys. Because usually when you have artists, they are like, I shouldn't probably say this, but they are a bit lazy sometimes. But these 3 guys, they are like crazy. They're as crazy as me.
Yeah.
And then I get like get motivation to do something.
Yeah, all three of them are like pushing, right?
Yeah.
This is what the discussion I had with Sarge as well, that he needs like fast iteration. He cannot paint and send it away and nothing happens for a week. He needs like instant feedback of his stuff. He wants to see it in action.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's sort of drifting away, not getting interested in doing anything anymore. So,
but it's the same for me when doing a demo. Like if I don't get music updates or graphics updates, it just turns to dust.
yeah.
The whole
Well,
demo.
I must say that, like following your discussion on Last Truck Stop 3, that's the massive animation part where you were totally berserking, both of you at the same time. That was amazing to follow.
Yeah, we were sending updates, right? Disk updates automatically when we built and stuff
Yeah.
like that. That was crazy.
So let's go into one of the practical things. So when you code, and again, in most of your collaborations, you are also the guy doing the linking. So you're sort of responsible for being the director of materializing and putting everybody's code and graphics and music into like its context.
Yeah.
Give us a hint on how that is done, because there are so few who do this really well.
Well, first of all, I can tell you why I do it. That's because I think that transitions is a big part of a demo.
Yeah.
So when you just get someone and linking, it's just hard cuts, and that's not fun at all. I almost think that transitions is like 25% of a demo, that glues it together in a nice way. So that's why I usually do it, because nobody else does it.
Yeah.
And
Well,
they can obviously link it with hard cuts and stuff like that, but they are too lazy.
well,
So
then you have Walt in Bonsai being your best pal in
yeah,
that.
yeah,
He's
he's
also
crazy.
a transition nutter.
Yeah, I will beat him in that soon.
Great. And so again, tools.
Yeah,
I had the discussion with LFT on Spindle, but that's not the one you're using, right? You're using this Bitnac thing or
I used
whatever
to
it's
use
called.
Krill's loader for a long time,
Yeah.
because it was just as so good, and you could ask Krill for help, and he fixed stuff directly. But then the crazy guy, what is it called, who did Bitfire and Bitnux and those? I have to search here. Yeah, Bitbreaker.
Bitbreaker.
He's just so crazy. So and that loader is totally insane. I guess on par with Spindle, I would guess,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Spindle being even more crazy. So
But can you script and what is sort of the user interface there? How do you do it?
no, I don't like someone else making my tools. I want to make my own tools.
Yeah.
So I just have a make file, and
Yeah.
I do everything. But that's Bitfire is perfect for that.
I guess Spindle is more doing it for you. You
Yeah,
write your a little more scripty thing there, and
yeah. I know that people had like these auto tools that could magically link two parts together, but you always lost a few bytes, and we are always at a stage where we need every single byte. And then those tools are useless, and you have to fiddle around and do some workarounds. And it's better to do workarounds for everything. I think it's easier for me, at least.
So and I also know that on the C64 you code in VS Code, right? And because that's your normal work environment, so that's where you're feeling at home.
Yeah, I switch between VS Code and Visual Studio, so
All
depending
right.
on what I do. Like for PC, I only use Visual Studio, but for C64 I use VS
Pardon
Code.
my ignorance, but isn't the editor the same? Is it? It's the Visual Studio's no?
No. It's totally different. Like VS Code is built on some TypeScript thing, I think.
Okay.
And it's open source as well, I think.
Yeah.
So, and Visual
Yeah.
Studio is totally closed. And
I thought the editor was the same, and the Visual Studio was only more complete portfolio of additional tools. Sorry about that. Sorry, I'm a PC lamer.
at least previously, it hasn't been like that. And I doubt that if I check Visual Studio now, this is not built using the same engine. This is just using net framework to build like their.
Yeah, well, I
Visual
mean,
Code ID.
if you have an opinion and I have and my original opinion was different, I'm 99.99999% sure that yours is right, and I am just clueless. So. And when you code on the PC, is that the same? But you're just
Well, it depends on if I do work coding or what I code. Like if I do demos on PC,
yeah.
I use my own tools there as well, like Demolition. So I sit a lot in my tool there, and then I have Visual Studio on the side.
But you are writing a bit of code. I mean, even if Demolition is a big monolith, it's you are typing C code as well, I guess.
Yeah, of course, because like what the most demo tools do is just the composition part of stuff.
Yeah.
Like you can blend stuff differently or position stuff differently and keyframe stuff. And the pure effects you have to write yourself.
Okay. Yeah, let's have a look at the number of demos, and you might explain that in more particular, because I'm sort of clueless when it comes to PC effects as well. So let's just you in parallel to this, you had a professional career, and you are in the gaming industry, we can say, and so there is something called SEAH.
That was nothing with gaming though. That was a local company here.
Okay.
But before, I think like in 1999, I did run some contracts with a company based in Stockholm. Like it was just a software consultant firm, but they had some contacts with some game dev houses in US. So they were small contracts works, which I worked with for a year. So
And this
that
was the SEAH.
No, that was prior to that. That was in 1998,
Okay.
I think.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, on the next game dev job I took, I was joining SMASH, I think, in London.
Is that the Blue 52?
Yeah, and that's a great story because there was a legend who ran that, Jason Perkins, who coded Thing on a Spring and all those games.
Yeah.
So I was starstruck when I met him.
Okay, so yeah, that's his company, Blue 52.
Yeah, I went bankrupt, but
yeah, well, you can be a superstar and still go bankrupt. That happens to, like, I'm not saying everybody, but that could easily happen. So
yes.
And this is also where you met Smash, or you met Smash before?
No, we met earlier in Racer 1911.
Okay, yeah.
So, and he was a musician back then. So he made a great transition.
And I guess you've seen the Smash episode as well. That's also a great episode. Yeah.
Yep.
Super nice guy, and yeah, always nice to meet him on the cruises we have every 5 years, like this one.
Yeah, exactly. But I think we started with I think it started to code like in 2000 or 2001 or something. Can't remember really. But I started to work on our demolition tool, and then he started to extend it for a 64 case. And a few years later, we just had a common editor base, and nothing else was shared. And now nothing was shared like a few years later. But it all used the groundwork that I did.
And this is what now is sold under the name Notch.
Yeah.
So how much of Notch and Demolition is sort of the same? Is it?
I doubt anything is the same now.
Okay.
I did see they use one of my save files still in their format. I probably forgot to change it.
Yeah. Well, if it's only that, it's rather little, I would say. But
yeah.
And then from Blue 52 to Rocket Science, I think that's a hilarious name. It's very difficult to Google though, because
it was a really fun company. I would say it was run by Deck of Scoopex in Tampere, in Tampere in Finland, and they were having the office was located like downstairs in some old. Like an old clubhouse or something with a big swimming pool and sauna. So you could dip your feet in when you were coding. And the barfly and tape of extend also worked there. So we had a real nice time there.
Rocket Science.
Yeah.
I like the name for sure.
And they were trying to do like games and stuff for the Nokia N-Gage and stuff like that. Like the Nokia's early gaming phones.
And this is also where it's getting a bit complex, because I have you listed for working with the Digital Illusion, so DICE, which then turned into Electronic Arts from 2002, whereas Rocket Science is
2004 I started at DICE.
Okay, that's the error here.
In May 2004.
Nobody will ever read my script, but I'm still correcting my script just to be sure.
That's the only date I can remember.
Yeah.
Because that was a pinnacle of my life. DICE was so cool.
So 2004 from 2004 to 2019, and I mean, looking at Moby Games, first of all, your first game that you're listed with is Stolen.
Yeah, that was the Blue 52 game.
So that was something you did during Blue 52.
Yeah.
Years don't match, but anyway. And you did additional technology
Stolen,
programming on multiple platforms, both the PS2 and the Windows and the Xbox versions.
I must say that for Stolen, like it was released after the company went bankrupt.
So you coded it in when you worked there, and it was released long after.
Yeah, Smash and the other guys. I went home to Sweden, and Smash and the other guys, I think Smash was part of that to finalize it with their own money.
And the hilarious part here is, of course, that the name Stolen, that's stolen, the chair in Swedish. So when I read it first, I went, why did you make a game called The Chair? That sounds ridiculous, but I get it. I
didn't came up with a name.
So during DICE, you did Battlefield 2, Battlefield 3, Mirror's Edge, Bad Company 2, Battlefield 4, Battlefield 1, very logical order, Battlefield 5. That's a lot of battlefields, and your role seems to be pretty much like the same. You lead the UI software.
I started at DICE. Like they lacked some tools for user interfaces, but as usual with gaming companies, you get thrown into what you know. So I started to do rendering code at BF2 as well, and did that for a while. But then they really needed this tool for UI and stuff like that. So I started to write that stuff. Then I just kept going because it was really fun. Like UI is that area that touches all other areas. It touches rendering, it touches input, it touches everything.
So, I mean, for us who don't work with games professionally, or well, who don't even play games, but what is the process like? For me, games, it's a bit of a black magic. I fully understand if you sit down and start coding a game and then you're done with it. But being like dozens of people, and you have an engine, and you have graphicians and coders of multiple versions, and how does that even work?
Well, first of all, I think it's very different based on which company you work for and how big they are. Like at big companies at EA and DICE, like it's way different than working at, for example, Blue 52 or Rocket Science.
Yeah.
They have totally different ways of running things. But on big companies, you have there is lots of documents and processes and stuff like that.
And lawyers.
Yeah, exactly. And in the smaller companies, you can just do what you want.
Yeah. You can throw in a FairLight logo and sneak it in somewhere and nobody will notice. Whereas I think in EA that would be difficult.
There is actually FairLight references still in all EA games. That the key for the save file is FLT was here.
Is that the encryption key? So it's not saved in clear text?
No, but you can't use it like it's on the console. So.
Okay.
But it's still there. It's just you just need an encryption key. And,
but now you know it.
Yep.
Cool. And in 2019 you moved. It had a few years in the making, right? You moving from EA, moving into your own thing. So, and you're now with Wild Games, and it's a very small team doing mobile games. You're associated with Softcell and
Supercell.
Supercell, yes.
I wish I was affiliated with Softcell. They're a really great music group.
And Softcell, the music group, they're only known for basically one song, and it's actually it's not their song. Tainted Love.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Tainted Love is a cover. It's not their song.
God damn.
Yeah,
but it's good.
It's from the 50s. It's really old. It's still a very good song. So Supercell, and they are in turn owned by Tencent, I guess, or major
they bought
parts
the majority of the shares a few years ago.
So we should actually speak Chinese because
exactly
we
should say hey to the Chinese people.
Huh? Ganbai. That's cheers in Chinese. I've sort of extended
most things today.
I've sort of extended my Chinese here. Sorry, I don't know much more than that. So Magnus, what do you say? Should we kickstart a few of the demos here and see if we could let's say have a few of like directors comment on them?
Yeah, for sure. Is that the link that you sent me? Do you have like a link where you're going?
No. So what we'll have now is me having. I'm a guy. I'm trying to do two things at the same time, which is.
I just wanted to know the list. Can I see the list somehow? So
yeah. Okay. So I'm pausing. Okay, so we just went through a few of the things. So the first thing, and my apologies, I don't have a PC that runs like demos properly, so this needs to be YouTube. I'm very, very sorry about that. So the first one is actually Razer 1911. It's Mindstammer.
Yeah, that was quite fun to make as well, because that was another friend of mine called Mitris.
Yeah.
Who also helped out on some code on that demo. It was really fun.
Yeah, and one of the really cool things is that we might want to show this to the people who watch the channel as well. Sorry, I did all aspects except changing the scene in OBS. So sorry about that.
I haven't seen this actually since I did it. So it's a way I haven't seen it.
So what do we see here?
I don't know, because I haven't seen it since we made it. I haven't watched it a single time. So I'm a first-time viewer here as well.
But you're assuming things.
Yeah, some simple lookup table zooming, I would assume. But this is also those common grid effects that you did, those two planes.
Grid FX.
Yeah, you used to just interpolate on a grid, and it looks very simple now. But this was, I can't remember if this was hardware accelerated or not, or if this was just using software. I can't remember. No, this was just using software.
So no fancy calling of APIs on the graphics card, just doing like raw CPU.
Yeah. We found a nice resolution that worked as well. It was 512 by 256, which was perfect for fast multiplying and stuff like that. We used it all over the demo, I think. I can't remember who did the graphics of this. Was it?
I'm sure it said, but it was credits in the beginning, so I missed that. And the viewers also didn't see because it was on the screen.
I can see it's a non-perspective texture mapping though. SEAH.
Non-perspective texture map. Is that also if you do it via the graphic cards, would that do perspective as well?
No, it doesn't. Perspective correct.
Yeah. My balls, your balls.
Everybody needs to do metaballs.
And what is this?
It's just metaballs. It's ISO surfaces, and it's the most fun thing to code.
I still code
them from time to time because they are fun to do.
And this looks like a meatball that somebody stuffs spaghetti into.
Yeah, it's supposed to look like light, I guess.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, can't even remember this demo, like the parts in it. I can't remember the bouncing balls because that was a thing that Mitris did. That was that one. That was like ray tracing, but like on a very small scale. I think real time.
Real-time ray tracing.
Yep.
I thought that was only a dream.
Not anymore. Didn't Tron already did it?
Yeah, but he indicated it was only a dream.
Yeah.
LSD, Lost Stored Dead. High of Light. And these are bouncing balls. Again, only using CPU.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who was making the graphics. It will be interesting at the end to see who did it. I have a suspicion that it was a UK friend called Graphic.
Coding by Pantaloon, at least.
Hope it was not me making the graphics.
Andromeda.
No, Graphic. Yeah. That was a UK guy.
And this is still when Smash was doing music rather than coding.
He did the music there as well.
Yeah.
And Mitris who did one of the effects. And Zombie, most in Tassadum. I wonder if this was the year we had a meeting at my place here in Basna, and then we went. We later rent a venue in Borlänge that got trashed, and it was really.
Oops. Okay. Yeah, that was that. Oops. We don't need to see more of that then. Let's see the next one here. Different resolution for sure. So this is Tatsu, PC demo from 2002.
Yeah, this started with just Andromeda making a fun tune, I think. And then I think Wayland and Forge, you know Wayland who runs the...
Yeah.
Our friend. He did the graphics.
Oscar, right?
Yeah, and can't remember our Forge. He also did graphics on this one. And we just put together because we had graphics that sounded like the music and stuff like that.
So what is this? How do you do this? I mean, the fiery thing in the background.
I think it's just two tunnels that are blending on top of each other with the different amplitudes. Yeah, these are the 3D scenes that made by Forge, I think. But this was an accelerated demo, right? Yeah.
No, it doesn't really say.
It must be.
I don't have it that in my notes, so.
Yeah, it is, I think. Must be. I remember me and Andromeda went to this party as well. He came and picked me up in his really shitty car. And we couldn't sleep anywhere when we got there. We got thrown out at the gathering. So we had to sleep out in his car. And it was freezing cold.
Yeah, I should say that the first one, Mindstammer, it won at DreamHack 1999, and this one came number 3 at the Gathering 2002.
Yeah. I think there were some strange things we were going... I can't remember everything about it. It was fun to make, because it was all just made around that music and the art. It wasn't that much code, it was just putting these things together.
But I mean, the engine for showing 3D graphics like this, is there a library for that? Or, I mean, you need to parse the 3D object and then render them in some way, so it's...
Yeah, that's core. You need to write code for that to actually... You write your own 3D engine and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It basically just communicates with the driver.
Okay, can you feed this to your graphic card? So this is my 3D object in this format?
No, you can't. You have to write small routines to upload like vertices and attach textures to that. And it's lots of logistics. And even more so today with Vulkan and everything, it's just logistics is everything. I wonder if Fluid was helping on this demo as well. That texture there.
Fluid was mentioned in the previous one. No. It was. I'm pretty sure it was sort of in the beginning here. Oh, that was Tron's Herman Hedning.
Yeah. Yeah, we had some FairLight influences like from screenshots in there from different demos.
Oh, but we had a long discussion around this. I wanted to have like FairLight demos running, and you didn't get Vice running inside your engineer. So
yeah.
So that's why it's only screenshots.
But later I got that Vice running in both in the editor, both in the engine and in the Visual Studio.
Yeah.
I don't remember if you remember that we could like compile directly in Visual Studio, and there was one pane in Visual Studio which was the emulator.
Oh, okay.
So it was really fun.
But you never released anything which was a PC demo that run like a C64 screen inside using native code.
No.
Because I think that was the original idea. You should be able to do that. So, Tatsu, does that mean anything in Japanese or Chinese or?
I think it's Andromeda who named it, so I don't know. You have to look it up.
So Andromeda is the musician who went to sell proteins for bodybuilders and making a small fortune of that. So yeah, there is seemingly money in selling stuff to bodybuilders.
Yeah, I think he lives near Dwangi nowadays. Dwangi in FairLight, in Bålsta. He lives in a tower, I think.
I haven't met him since the Västerås party down at Vodka's place.
No, it might be the last time I met him as well. I think I talked to him on Facebook a few times, but that was ages ago too.
Tatsu.
Did you find out did you see what it did mean?
No. Oh, no, we shouldn't start. Should we, if you Google, I will prepare the next one.
Let's for sure do.
we shouldn't play other demos. So
It looks like it's the main character of a manga TV series and a minor supporting character in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
yeah, we don't know anything about that. We just know hentai, right? So I wish, but okay. So the next one is Toxical Overdose, also a PC. It's the one that became number 4 at Evoke. So the previous one was also 2002. This one is September, and the previous one was from April. So yes, and this was with TSL. Is that Silence or?
Yeah. It's, the one who did the Global Fresh, the same guys, like Baroque.
Kid
I think
Balle.
I think that 3D guy was called Baroque, and he did 3D and stuff here as well. It was really fun to work with. Then he just disappeared. I don't know where he went. But he did really fun stuff as well. Yeah, Baroque there.
Okay.
And Forge was doing stuff as well. Lexical, he used to help out a lot.
The music sounds like an old Amiga demo.
I see a trend there. It's lots of these additive effects I used to do.
So you have an effect and you add something else and you add something else.
Several layers of them.
Well, if you have the CPU, then you can do it. So
yeah. That effect before the burning thing, I remember it was going to be a lot cooler. The things were going to fall down, like when it was done cutting, they would fall down onto the scene. But yeah, time runs out.
Yeah. And this was also concluded at the party, or?
Yeah, I think so.
That's when you run out of time. Danish gold.
Yeah.
Excess.
I usually greeted Turtle and Sphinx in Danish gold. They were fun dudes.
Turtle, Dennis.
Yeah.
He only became 40. Worked with Big Brother in Denmark, and he drank a bit too much on his when he turned 40, and eventually didn't make it.
Oh, that was too sad.
Yeah.
But Sphinx came and met me in Stockholm.
Yes, I was there as well.
Yeah. It was really fun.
Sten, right?
Yeah.
Sten Pedersen.
Like a close relative to Sten Pedersen.
Who is in offense on the 64.
One of the brightest guys I know is Sten Pedersen. The Staininator, I call him. Yeah, so Forge did the scenes and models there as well. I know we used Lightwave here because that's where I really liked Lightwave, but it was ages since I used it now.
Is it so? That's the
like
3D engine.
Yeah, 3D program where they can paint and do the 3D things in.
Oops. No, it's okay. And the last PC one is Only One Wish, and that was some sort of Intel competition in 2008 where you won a lot of money by doing a demo, right?
Yeah, I can't remember. We won a computer, I think, and money and stuff like that.
Okay.
But this was me and Louis, I think. I can't remember who did the music here.
Let's see if we can see that.
Yeah, I remember this demo. The one unfortunate thing with this demo is well that we had a work friend called Hoyt who helped doing graphics in this demo as well. Then just a few days later, he was found dead outside our job. He was driving motorcycle and crashed just outside work. That was not long after this demo was released.
Okay, we watched this one with Louis as well. So, so that's you had the TBL part here, the Black Lotus.
Yeah,
this is lovely.
That's fun to work with. Kenny, he has so unique ideas and crazy ideas, and they're all like they turn out to be good demo material.
Yeah. But this one is really nice.
Yeah.
I am one.
There is a bug in this part as well, I remember. So everything is slowed down by 50%.
To avoid the bug, or?
No, that was the bug. It slows down everything by 50%.
Okay.
But I couldn't figure it out. But then, like years later, I had a peek in the code and I could see in the middle that this is the error.
Okay.
I couldn't be arsed to recompile the demo.
CNCD.
That's Kenne's references to CNCD, his second home or third home after FairLight TBL. Like the desktop is from CNCD, who did lots of stuff with us and is managing the company with Smash now, the Notch company. Such a good 3D artist and like lots of awesome dudes out there.
And what is this? I mean, the 3D model, but how do you make it dissolve?
It was supposed to look a lot cooler. I did like a fracture routine that the real fracturing.
Okay, I think we're having a bit of a internet issue now.
But was it an issue? Did you hear?
Yeah, it was on my side. There was a bit of a lag on the internet, but yeah. So sorry, go again.
So it was supposed to look a lot cooler than that, because I did like a real-time fracture routine for 3D, so you could put in any model and it would fracture it, and you would get pieces that had depth in it as well, so you can explode. But yeah, it didn't turn out that good, so we just did it on the gas mask, because that was the only model that looked good, I think. And this logo is so nice. Here we faked, like, we wanted to have, like, nobody had did like this smoke before that was real time. We faked it by rendering shitloads of small different objects to a different render target, a different texture, and then blur it and recalculate the normals and then apply it on top of the screen. We never thought it would work, but yeah, it looked cool. So we used it.
Yeah, and that logo we've seen a number of times before and afterwards as well. So
yeah, I think that the origin of that logo is Forge as well, who did the original logo like back in 2001 or something, like the new 3D looking logo, and then Louis took it further with doing it more like the Coke logo, which I really like.
Oh no, we shouldn't watch that. Let's see if this is the next.
That was a really good demo, no? Coolers.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, so now we have the Operation Fastlink thing happening, and the Panta moving to the C64. Your first demo was We Are New. First of all, what's this We Are? Why that? Was that like because
it was Kenny's, like you remember his pins there in the previous demo?
Yeah.
I am one.
Yeah.
He loves coming up with small, like intetsägande in Swedish, small words that you can stick together. We are one. We are all. All we are.
Nowhere near. Okay, so so we move now to the winner at Datastorm 2010, February. where I think you lured me into driving you and Kenny. So you were in the back seat and I was driving from Stockholm to Gothenburg. So this is 500 kilometers with 2 guys with PCs and beer, and then the very sober driver there. So I'm actually greeted for as being their personal driver. Yeah, wow.
I remember us sleeping at Hollow Man's place as well. We borrowed, shit, I can remember some things.
Yeah, but so Hollow Man lives in Askim, which is like, I don't know, 15, 20 kilometers from the party place, Truckstop, Alaska. And so I couldn't drink anything during that weekend. It was...
But so nice of you.
Yeah.
Provide the ride.
I'm so nice. That's who I am.
In the back of the car.
Yeah. Let's see what we get here. Yeah, and I could have run this on Vice, but this is also YouTube. Sorry, guys. That was the same logo, right?
Yeah, that's the Kenny logo. It's so nice. It's like a taking Angelon's old classic FairLight logo into the new century.
Could possibly.
Was it Datastorm 2010 last?
Yeah.
How many Datastorm has there been? Been plenty.
Oh, you have been to all of them, so...
Yeah, I think we won most of them. There was 1 or 2 we didn't win.
Yeah, this is also Mr. Fisk. That's also one of the...
That's the one, the character that me and Kenny did. Like, the one, it's another 64 demo is like in the Mario part.
And we see the buttons here again, right? We can see the moral successor from the PC demo.
Some things needs to have sound on, because this is really fun part. We needed to load the next part, and we couldn't figure out what to do. We did this annoying sound and the bomb and raster bars, and it worked out really nice.
Yeah,
and this
Kenny's
is like
graphics.
The one of the first pictures Kenny started to do were like totally amazing, like from day one.
And this one also said Louis 500.
Yeah.
That's Mr. Fisk.
Yeah. He needs to do a comeback soon.
Yeah. So do you. So do you.
You just wait.
And music here, is that Wiklund or?
Must be. Okay, I can't hear the music.
Okay.
Pump up the volume, perhaps. So the music is by Sabaton.
Ah, okay. You don't need sprites here. This is
sprites.
Not. What is sprites here?
The dude.
The dude, and the rest was something done by using characters in
characters,
the
I guess.
Yeah.
I can't even remember that. Like,
and this is.
I have the source code, so I can peek it in here.
Yeah. Now I do C64 debugger. This one is also really nice, and I think this has been sort of done by others as well, looking basically the same.
Yeah, Abaddon did a few of these routines, like that were like a few colors, but it looks really stylish. And I think it turned out really, really nice.
Yeah, but,
like,
I mean,
State Peterson took this to another level, but that was later.
And this is the standard font. You just made it Voxly 3D.
Yeah. I mean, we did shitloads of these kind of effects after this. Like Pal did some amazing image. Like I think it was painted in Koala, but it had these voxel patterns and stuff like that. It was useful here I remember these steel bugs, the line down there you see in the bottom. You have the sprite bug there.
Yeah, the in the lower part of the LNT, right?
Yeah. So we did the trick where you just change the sprite pointer in the middle and just extend the sprite with the same. But we didn't have time to fix that last thing. It would have taken us like 2 minutes.
Well, yeah, but sometimes you don't have the 2 minutes. So what is this? Sprites or characters?
I know sprites.
Sprites?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's 8 times 8, so it's...
Yeah.
And you have different widths, so you can show different contents and
exactly.
you position them. Oh, okay. Yeah, of course. Of course. I do understand the 64 a lot more than the PC. When you describe the PC effects, I'm still clueless after your description, so...
Yeah, you are the guy who still wants the sprite editor, right? You mentioned that to LFT. Or the graphics ripper thingy. Where you can see the graphics.
Oh, yeah, but no, that's what I do in C64 debugger, so I can see what is what.
I bet it's useful for when doing cracks and stuff like that.
So is this bitmap or characters?
That's a bitmap. But I think I think that's one is using the same thing. It's just changing, just updating what actually changes.
Mm?
It's just the tops of the bars that changes all the time. We took that idea, used it several times, like what was that demo? Danko's first demo with us when he did a comeback.
Sabaton.
Yeah, we are only one wish. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah, that was the reference to me. That was it's a rather shitty rip, right? Because there are so many JPEG issues with it. So it's yeah, sorry. It's I don't think this is the FairLight rip because that one is of course perfect. The next one we have here is We Are New. That one was number 2 at X 2010, so October 2010.
Yeah, I think me and Louis, it was the first time we did this previously demo, and we felt like we know what we need to know to do a demo.
Which I have 2 links. I have one which is live at X 2010, and then I have one where which is sort of a clean directly from the 64. Do you want the audience as well?
I don't mind.
Okay, so
it can be fun with some.
Yeah, with audience screaming. I haven't seen
some
that
ambient noise on the TV channel.
Oops. We don't want that. Pressing F12 rather than F11. Okay.
I remember that Louis wrote some really fun scroll text as well. He really liked writing the scroll text.
In this one?
No, in every demo I think he's making his writing.
Oh yeah,
text.
the one I cut short now. Sorry about that.
It's him and Puterman. One of those always write all the texts.
Incomprehensible, but you're supposed to be like so deep and stuff that people can't really understand, like Hotel California kind of lyrics.
Yeah, and
this transition effect is really good as well. Who's that in the background?
I can't hear the music now.
Okay, I'll turn it up again.
Something wrong.
Do you hear it now?
I know I hear it.
We need to talk really loud too. Otherwise, people will only hear the music here. I'm sorry, we have to put it down because otherwise we don't hear what you say. So, yeah, this. I think you explained that you only had Rasta time to do a short, and then you had to add characters afterwards.
Yeah, we did. We ended up just having Rasta time for doing the lines up to Louis.
Yeah.
And the rest are sprites, I think. But it turned out quite nice, like having the Danko, Louis, Hollow Man. I really liked this part. It turned out quite nice. When Louis showed me his ID for this first, I thought this is going to look but ugly. But when I did it, it started to shape up.
Yeah, I think it's really nice.
I think the ID was first just have one color, and then I tested to add several colors.
What, Magno, was he in Sensor already then, or was he somewhere else?
No, he was just hanging out on at Scandic Malmen drinking beer, and he was doing lots of consulting work in Stockholm.
Yeah.
So me and we used to hang out and drink beer.
So we could have captured him then.
It was me who introduced him to Bob. Too bad.
Yeah. And what is this then?
That was Hollow Man's. It's like I think it's a big trick where you change the lines on every Rasta line. But the thing is that Hollow Man I think did one without the shadows and everything, and Louis just pushed him to add the shadows.
And this one has to be yours.
Yeah. I was really fond of real-time physics, like on the 64. So I've done like tools to do that, like with simple spheres versus spheres collisions. And now I have spheres versus triangles and stuff like that. It's really fun to just put
and this
something
is the
on
same,
them.
right? It's also physics, and you detect the balls and it bounces on them.
Yeah. But it's quite fun to just start something with it, like it almost gets like random behavior. You never know what you're going to get, how it's going to look when it starts to bounce around and behave like something.
But is it always the same here, or is there any random aspect of it?
No, I think we use the same seed.
Oh, okay.
Like
so
if you change the seed, you can randomize it a bit, but I mean, it won't be that much.
And this is parallax scrolling, which is a lot more difficult on the 64 than it is on the Amiga with multiple bit planes and stuff.
Yeah, Hollow Man this, and I know that he was pushing Hollow Man to add the last little things that was it can't almost be done, but it has to be there, the spaceship.
Okay, now we're getting to my favorite graphic part.
This was really nice. And the thing with the falling leaves, that was nothing that I was sitting in a husvagn in a caravan in Leksand, and we were going to finish this demo. Then I started to put some balls falling down there, but then I called Kenny, we need to have leaves. And he sent me leaves textures and stuff like that. And we just tried
that one is absolutely amazing.
It looks so cool. And the thing is, I didn't have to animate. I was animating them like in a bit in a scene shape, but Kenny actually drew them. I got the different animations where they were already waving and stuff like that.
And this is a voxel thing.
Yeah, this was something we started to experiment with it. Just compressing as much of characters as possible down to one character set.
Oh.
It's like an algorithm has a tool for this called SEAH.
But we are mature. There is a girl doing basically the same rotating movements.
Yeah. We now can do lots cooler stuff because we used to use the DivX codec for this.
Yeah.
And then we found out that the algorithm had a tool called SEAH. But then we coded another tool we can use it like to stream in more characters. Like, so we are not limited by 206 characters. We can say we are limited by 400 if we have the CPU power to stream in 100 characters
from disk or from?
Oh no, from memory. Yes, from memory.
Okay.
So you have the CPU memory, CPU, so you can do that.
Okay.
So you can specify in the codec like that. I need to have like 30 raster lines free, and the rest you can use for copying characters. And then it can figure out like, oh, I can use 500 characters for this, and still have time to copy in X amount of characters every frame.
And this is just a big bunch of LDA STA. It's loop unrolling, right? Moving.
I think this is the classic Bob sensor effect, color cycle. But this was just a test for me because the first time I think I did it. So we just did it one frame. So it looks a bit choppy. But it turned out quite good with that city there. Like
yeah, for sure.
Artistic view of it. Because that's something that I like with demos, is that they are, like, many people feel like, oh, they have to be just technical shit, technical stuff, otherwise it's shit. But I feel like it's a combination. Most technical demos I see, they are utterly boring.
Yeah, especially the plots. I sincerely hate anything that relates to plots.
Yeah, I want to see something that has good music, that fits to the thing, and that has good stuff that's happening that fits that thing as well. Like it's a combination of everything.
Yeah, I totally agree. I guess Smash says that he starts with the music and builds from there. And music here, was this Wiklund or?
It's no, it's Magnar or someone. No, it could be Wiklund there. You're right, it could be Wiklund.
Yes. Gunnar Karlbäck, Jerry of Triad.
No, that's Magnar who did the music here.
Okay. And this is Mr. Fisk crediting Gunnar Karlbäck, Jerry of Triad. Who's been like an extra father to hundreds of sceners.
I got shitloads of postcards from Jerry.
Yeah, I went to his funeral.
Yeah, I know. I think we're right here about that we dedicate this demo to both Jerry and Hoyt. Hoyt was the guy who helped
the
out
motorcycle guy
on the PC demo and died just outside the office.
Yes.
And Sami Hoyt Barakat. That was really surreal.
And this is bitmap scrolling, but how do you do?
There's sprites on top.
It is plain sprites. Okay.
Yeah, extended sprites on top. But this demo was fun to make because every 64 we had just broke. But then a guy at the office just came over. I looked at they've been throwing stuff where I live. And I found like 2 64s. This is something you need with disk drives and everything. It was a TBL guy.
Sask.
Yeah, that was a retro replay. And this is Kenny writing his Spanish context. I must say that the third person I know, it's Futureman Louis who writes front scroll text. Then there is Björn Rosten.
Okay.
He writes his scroll texts they are worth reading. You can do that on a Saturday night if you don't have anything to do.
But hey, we like it anyway. We come in peace. Should we watch more or? No, this is looping now, right? Yes, it's looping.
Yeah. I remember this. I mean, it's simple to just stream in the bitmaps from disk. Yeah. But there was a bug in the Creel loader at that time that.
Good now, right?
Yeah. That just made it stop loading randomly if you took too much CPU time. And we were using like 100% all the time because we were constantly loading and doing other stuff. But then he introduced like some flag. You could disable this idle behavior that started to come up.
Ooh, I'm using the cadaver loader for crack stuff, and one thing I always do wrong is I forget to disable the sprites because it's really relying on not taking too much CPU time, and sprites take CPU times, and those cycles could be critical. So
I have a checklist when I work with offense guys because they are really good, but they always forget to turn off sprites. There's one of the checklists. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because it has happened so many times. The same problem, so I can just check. Oh, this could be number 5 this time.
I think I had a post on the FairLight fans group on YouTube. Your favorite errors, and turning off sprites is one thing I tend to miss. The other one is I've set the 0-1 value, so the bank switching on the 64 wrong, which is also something that totally messes things up.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we have 1/4 demo, and this one is Data Storm. I don't have a place.
This was like FairLight 25 year, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it says Data Storm 2012. Did I get anything?
Yeah, that's 25 years FairLight.
Yeah.
Isn't it? 87, 97.
Yeah, it makes sense. Absolutely, it's correct. The number of years match.
Yeah. I knew it was a good choice to have a glass of wine when we were doing this.
Yeah, for sure. I missed that. I haven't eaten yet, so I'm rather eager to have. Getting hungry.
I was supposed to check in work stuff just when I tried to code as fast as possible up until 1 minute to 6 when we were going to start this. So I haven't checked in the code yet. I see I have lots of messages on the side that I just ignore.
Yes, so same logo again, but it looks like it was sort of touched upon. It doesn't look exactly the same.
No, I can't remember what. We were going to do something special with that logo, but that never happened. So I think it's in characters for some reason. We were going to do a character effort, like in, if you know the kind of like comma like 13. They have like this comma like 13 effect. We were going to do something like that, but can't remember why we didn't finish the effect because I have it on disk already.
So you have the effect, you just didn't implement it.
Yeah, perhaps we didn't finish it for the demo release.
N1SE.
Well, you know, Kenny likes to write stuff.
That's his gymnasium class.
No, but it's a typographic. He like a good character, looking good here.
And this is also LDASTA. It's loop unrolling things to move things really fast.
Yeah.
Compared to many other things, it was rather small, but very good looking. Transition.
This was kind of fun part because most people used like have pre-computed this.
Yeah.
But this is like real time.
And is that sprites or characters or bitmap?
It's both. It's drawing the vectors to both sprites and characters to get that right, so you can stack them on top of each other correctly.
So you could actually like wobble them.
Yeah. They only have a few frames because the other is a previous copy, so you can only get 4 copies back. That's the largest rotation diff you can get. So it's not that huge.
And making raster bars is easy, but making raster bars in that direction is a lot harder.
The thing was that we were going to do like an Amiga demo. We had some references for, but for some reason I can't remember why we didn't. We were going to do splits all the way
as well.
Yeah, so they were going to wave, but we didn't. And like I say, I have shitloads of routines just on the disk. That's it. mostly just running 25 FPS, so we can't use them. But like every third year, I come up with an idea how to optimize one of them so we can use it for a demo.
And is this also a loop-bound rolling thing?
Yeah, I think this was just added as a test. Because I did a 3D Studio Max tool where we could do these color cycles directly into Studio Max and just export it. So we could quickly build like stuff in it, and Louis could composite it within Lightwave as well to see how his art would look like directly.
Yeah, it's something. Some people think it's just about the code, but it's a lot about the tools.
I think this was Hollow Man, right?
What does it say? Arra or?
I don't know. Arraxball. No, I think it's kind of that those zoomers that Jackasser is god of.
Oh.
But this is less good. But it looks really good. But Jackasser is a total maniac when it comes to these zoomers.
It looks fantastic. I have no idea how that works. I need to look into that because it's...
I think it's those kind of character zoomers that could be. This was the one doing graphics. What? It's Prowler who did that.
Ah, okay. Claes Benjaminsson.
Yeah, it's such a nice picture.
Yeah, for sure. And then voxel thing.
Yeah, because why not?
Yeah, of course. I'm sorry, I can't turn the disc. It's I did have the demos downloaded, so we could have run them. It's just me being stupid. Sorry about that.
Here you can see Louis like typographic. I really like those kind of stuff as well. This is Oxydy, real nice with the casting shadows on there.
Yeah, I had a chance to hang out with Micke on Mysdata, like, what was that, 2 weeks ago? When
I did see some picture, it looked really mysigt. I wish I was there.
It was super mysigt, it was snowy.
Well, was it with Plex as well? Or was it just, him and who else was at Mysdata?
Well, first of all, it was Fredrik Åberg, so Scooby and Magnar being responsible for it, and so the two so Walt and Trap were there from Bonsai, and Micke, Oxydy, and myself from FairLight, and
Mahoney was there, right?
Panord was there, of course, and
not Mahoney. I think
yes, Mahoney as well. Yes, and and Hedning and Fried.
Nice guys meeting.
Yeah. This is also the crashing plane. Is that a wing?
Yeah, it's an X-wing. X-wing versus Nazis. You need to write. You need to read like Louis' text there as well. There's a war going on, man.
X-wing versus Nazis. I missed that. I should.
This was one of the first like FLE effects we were trying to do. We wanted to do like huge plasmas and.
Yeah.
We had some idea of doing it like these rotating twisters, but with FLI.
Yeah.
We did that in one demo, but it didn't turn out that good looking for some reason.
Well, you need, I mean, the extra colors need to come through, otherwise it's a waste. So yeah. I guess, but this shows that it's a lot of colors, I guess. Yeah.
So you need to have a good shape, like so it makes justify the colors.
So FLI means that you're changing every raster line, you set a new screen memory, which means that every raster line you have, and because the screen memory is 2 of the colors, right? So you get 2 unique colors. Oh, this is from Legoland 3.
Yeah.
Real-time ray tracing is only a dream. This is exactly from there. You can't take your own stuff, even if it's Tron stuff. You
Yeah.
can.
But this was also supposed to be a bit different. I remember we still have the routine that's almost working, where we had a scroller going up over the sphere, down under the sphere, and continuing from right to left. But then we got drunk and we started to write text instead, I think. We had an alcohol meter with us, so we tested alcohol levels of people. That's in this text. You can see the most drunk people at the party.
And this is this is
forward like 20 seconds here. I need to see some of the list here.
Oh yeah.
Paper. 0.
Mahoney was also very sober.
A G-Magic complex. Who was getting drunk? Then we get into the Finnish dudes. The
6, and so this is
Random
he's
watch.
not in Genesis Project anymore, but
Everybody getting the drunk people.
Clegg
was doing okay there. Slummy Spaceballs doing okay. Frost doing okay. But there are some people just going crazy on this chart now. We get a bump.
Radiant.
Radiant. Mo also. Cash.
Yeah, he's from Finland.
Uga.
So that's scary. 2.1. That's
the tall Finnish guy. I can't remember who that was. I can't remember.
He was tall and Finnish.
Yeah.
So he was on his normal level.
Yeah.
We don't have any prejudices against Finnish people, but okay. So we have a few demos left, and so this one is, and now we're actually doing Amiga.
Do you have to show this demo, or I shouldn't call it a demo either?
Okay, well, just proving that you did stuff on the Amiga.
I even screwed up I wouldn't have needed to use a track loader here, but I used one for no good reason. Just
you could have fitted it into memory, right?
Yeah, but there was another friend at work who is one of the brightest minds ever, Andreas Fredriksson in TBL, Depp in TBL, who wrote a new track loader for 500. But I forgot to set one number there, so it doesn't always load correctly, so it's trash at most computers.
Oops.
But then some guy pointed it out on Poet in a comment. Oh, you forgot to set this number. Oh shit, good.
Thanks. It's a bit too late now, so.
Yeah.
And this is number 5 at Edison. How many entries? Like 5 or?
Yeah, I think we just did it to fill it out, like.
Yeah.
Because at this time I started to fiddle with the Amiga framework again. So I have some really good stuff there that's really cool, like a Lua preprocessor. So you can write everything in Lua and it outputs the assembly code for you. It's perfect when you want to generate data or load textures and convert them, and just use Lua for everything as a preprocessor.
And this is a snorkel scroller, isn't it?
I have no idea what it's called.
Okay.
But it's just
I thought that was it.
a glitter scroll.
Okay.
Snurkel scroll isn't the ones that are going in a
it
circle.
Needs to do like loops.
A loop.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, we did that in offense demo. FairLight offense demo.
Okay, so we are connected. That's we will save the best one for last, and that is Last Truck Stop 3. And I have a hidden thing I would like to point out in Last Truck Stop 3. So you cannot kind of drop off now, because there will be hidden stuff.
The graphics that you did see during production.
Yeah.
That something looked like something.
Yeah, and it's not there. And that one was changed. So it looked like genitalia, so he changed that, and now there is a Bacchus sign. I had no idea there was a Bacchus sign, but there is something that looks a bit strange in the background, and that is him. That is the Sarge doing a Bacchus sign. But I will point it out. But you have to stick with us. First, we will watch We Are All Connected.
I really like doing demos with Offense. Like they are.
Yeah.
They do a shitloads of stuff, and Pal is just crazy as well.
Yeah,
I've never seen
energy beyond anything else. So.
Yeah, when he starts pixeling, it's like it's burning from his fingers. Yeah. He actually had like big wounds on his fingers, like and everything, because he pixeled too much.
So this is the winner of Data Storm 2014.
Yeah, I remember this one.
We played this like 5 times on Mysdata, so...
I think Björn Rosten did this part. He does so much fun demo parts. They are like small movies.
But this is a collaboration where noise is also involved, right? Because there are goats everywhere here.
Yeah, I think because Sofa did a goat, I think. He did that part. And he did a scroller at the end, I think.
So, and if you don't know that, then it's noise. It's sort of they have goat as their general theme. So the names of their demos, it's related to goats, most of them. So
I still have a goat T-shirt. It's in medium though. So imagine how much I've grown. I can fit it in one of my legs, perhaps today.
If you're lucky.
Yeah.
That was the goat. That was 2 other goats falling down.
That's so fun to just watch the small.
The little.
Björn Rosten always adds the small details like that no one ever noticed, but they are so fun to watch.
Yeah, this is PAL graphics.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I think like, do you remember which year was this?
2014.
Yeah, because that was around the time that Kenny was doing less, and he eventually moved to US and started his game company. And so I need to find another graphics buddy.
Yeah, and Sarge didn't really gear up.
No, he came a few years later. He started to.
It's a bit sad that your manic period and Sarge's manic period didn't overlap more.
They might do soon. I get these intervals.
Yeah?
Like 5 years intervals. The last one turned out to be 10 years, but...
I think we can conclude with that. The future of things, but we save that one for last. This is good stuff.
He has painted on and painted, and it was crazy. I think it was this year I went to visit him in PAL in Oslo as well. And he was painting.
And this is your physics thing?
Yeah, no, this is not mine. This is Perplex who did the whole scroller. And I think it's just doing the trick where you just use 1 bit to record physics. Like, either it's 1 bit set, then it's to the left. If it's 2 bit set, it's to the right. And it just moves them accordingly each frame.
Cheating.
Yeah.
Which is what most demo code is about. You cheat and you find something which shows a lot of results and with a minimal effort.
Yeah. But I really like PAL's ideas here with like stuff happening on the picture all the time while it's scrolling. And...
Are you loading it directly from disk? So it's...
Yeah. So this is the whole disk side, I think, this part.
And that sounds like a lot, but you know it's 170 kilobytes, so it's...
I wish it was like 5 times bigger sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do demos on the 1581, even if you wanted to, but that would be really neat.
Can you track load from... Yeah, you can, obviously.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, it's The cadaver loader, Lasse Örnis loader, that loads equally good from 41, 71, and 81. So. Is there a raster thing there, or?
Yeah, here is now we are changing part. Now it's Björn Rosten suddenly with a scroller, and I think this scroller here perfected to be a bitmap scroller later on, and now he's released a boost design demo with the most beautiful perfection of it, like the twisting scroller that moves up. But this is.
And
sprites.
how do you do this? This is also sprites, or?
Yeah, this is sprites.
And you have a number of animations to each letter, or do you?
I would guess so. I've never.
Are you doing them? Are you calculating them in real time? How would you do this?
No, I would do like different columns that we could. Like the earlier effect that you see that I did, it was flat. Like that, I would do it. And here I start the code. I think, yeah. Here my parts come in, and the rest of the demo, I guess.
And this is where the thematics really works, because you saying that this is where your code starts, and everything has been very fluent, and it's been contribution from a number of people, but it's still like a continuous flow where.
Yeah.
So this is the greetings part. Everyone has their own individual logo.
Yeah, it was so nice to pixel that many logos, and they are quite unique, many of them as well. Like the Horizon logo almost looks like the Horizon logo on Amiga they used. So you use the influences from many of the logos.
Is this also PAL?
Yeah. Who else would have the time to pixel all these?
I thought they were in alphabetical order, but eventually they weren't, so.
Lyfta från.
ISBN, that's a book number, isn't it?
Yeah. I think we just took a random number. But this turned out quite good. I was quite happy with this.
The faces come in from the left.
Yeah, I was quite happy because I just made a routine that we could make this, and we started to test with different faces. And we took like portrait faces of everyone. So it's quite fun.
It's really nice.
We had different tests with boobs, and it was girls, and it was men, and it was different kinds of stuff. But these faces really turned out.
Yeah, this one rocks. Stein Pedersen as reference.
Steininator.
Is he the one that has this house in the out in the rural parts? Where you have this the small gathering?
Yeah, I missed it this year, unfortunately.
Mega Meltdown or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's always a blast being there.
Is it Mega Meltdown?
Yeah. It's too bad it's so expensive to buy booze in Norway, though. I found that out one year when I didn't have any booze with me almost, and I was stopping at their Systembolag.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Hell, I think he bought a 6-pack of beer. It was like 500 kroners or something.
Which is like 50 euros.
Yeah.
Is this your physics thing, or?
Yeah. But this was doing it.
Are you checking the actual star, or?
Yeah, no, it's triangles that are moving, like just a few points.
Okay.
So I'm checking it up against 5 triangles. And this is also using the physics just to do more effects. It was fun to do effects with it. But I couldn't figure out how to do nice looking effects. So it became effects like this. But it was...
And it's just melting like boom, boom, boom.
Because the lines were taking too much time.
Yeah. drawing lines takes a lot of time, so...
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh, now it's a twister thing. Yeah, what is this? All characters.
Yeah, so me and Pal experimented a lot with pushing as much as possible into a character in different ways. So we did lots of routines with this kind of technique.
So you mean pushing them into the font, or?
Yeah, yes. So you have like everything is made by 256 characters.
Yeah.
And you just have to tweak every little animation so it doesn't produce these two characters. It has to only produce one, and shitloads of work for the artist to just sit there. But we have a better.
But if you have Pal, that's not a restriction, right? Because he's only doing it. So
yeah, he is the only one who will do that work as well.
Yeah.
You can't find much more anyone else doing it. It's him or Louis.
Or a Sarge.
Yeah. I shouldn't forget about Sarge. I mentioned him when I said there were 3 good artists that work like that.
This is high-res. This is not multicolor, right? This has to be high-res.
Yeah, I think the whole plan from the beginning was to only have high-res effects as well. Perhaps we only did have... Yeah, it might... Yeah. Yeah, it has only been high-res. There's not been a single...
And here we have like a shadow behind the... And this has to be a sprite scroll, right? So...
Yeah, there's a multi-texture. But when I think about this, everything is just high-res. There hasn't been a multicolor effect yet. That was the thing with this, I can remember. And everything is so much... It's harder to do it in a high-res than multicolor for some reason.
Let's see where we are.
And that scroller is long. Could be...
Should we fast forward a bit? But we don't want to... We miss the graphics if we... No, we don't want to miss the graphics.
Well, this is excellence in graphics. They painted different fun pictures of people at Datastorm as well. So these he just painted while he worked at the party, being drunk. There's Viklund coming in.
Is that 2 flowers or?
Could be.
Bob. That's an SX64.
He's just painting it. There is Mahoney coming in.
Yes, Mahoney. Pix Tuvesson.
A really nice dude.
And this has to be... It couldn't be 6, because he's wearing a Triad t-shirt.
Could it be...
It couldn't be 6 wearing a Triad t-shirt.
No.
He would wear a Genesis Project t-shirt, but... Don't know who that was.
We always did these kind of long demos. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, 6. This one is quite like the other ones, only the different direction. But is this the technique is the same, right?
The same. So you can just put like we produced like columns, and like each row has to be. We could produce the rows based on the character we had.
Yeah.
It was a bit of. So you had to stitch them together by hand.
Okay, and this is reproducing something which was done on the Amiga.
Yeah, so Pal had some old ray tracing things from Lightwave on Amiga, but that he never released. But he wanted to release it somehow. I have it on my disk. I want it in here. So
18 megabytes. That's very difficult to throw into a 160 kilobyte C64 disk.
But I remember that the original Amiga ray tracing thing, it looked really nice from him. But it was never used in a demo.
Stop. I can't really read it.
This is Stadenator's game. Save Truck Stop Alaska. You can actually play it. It's
okay.
fun.
Yeah, that was used by also one of the demos released at Mysdata, where there was this chainsaw guy. Okay, so is this the end, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we're up over 2 hours now. No, just under 2 hours. So we need to rush to the last one because this is 10 minutes. Last Truck Stop 3.
But it was a really fun demo this was the first demo that I did with Sarge alone, I think.
Yeah, I want to. Sorry, we don't hear anything, but we need a bit more music here. Is this Sarge? No.
Yeah.
That logo was his as well.
Yeah. And we need
it's a bit of a recreation of Last Ninja 3 and Truck Stop Alaska. The party place for Data Storm was supposed to be torn down, and this was said to be the very last of the events there. So this is commemorating the Truck Stop Alaska.
I think they have trashed the place now.
It's torn down.
Fucking sad. That was the best party ever.
Yeah, I love them as well.
It was so chill sitting outside, just hanging around. I hope the organizers there try to do something similar. I know that they had some ideas, crazy ideas in castles and stuff like that, having a party. Then I will go to a party again. It seems like my activity just stopped with Data Storm.
Yeah. And Fegelhus had joined here as well. No, he possibly not even joined, but...
Yeah, I think he had joined it this time, I think.
Okay.
Perhaps awesome melody maker.
Truck Stop Alaska. Don't know if we scrolled past the little Bacchus symbol there. This is supposed to be 6.
Yeah. No, it's supposed to be name. Forget the bad names now. This was so fun to see when the picture started to take shape. Like, oh, we need to do it like this. You have to throw like a big...
And that is from that Street Fighter. The knockout.
Yeah. I mean, the intention I had first, before I talked to Sarge about it, was they should look like exactly as Last Ninja, but with today's graphics and today's effects.
Oh.
But it turns out so much better to do it like with a bit different view and of stuff.
But it's one of those things, one of those unique things where the coder and the graphician push each other beyond the original scope. I think this is reasonable, and then the other one goes, no, you should go further.
Yeah.
This is also super nice.
Yeah. And this was Mo. We had this. We knew that we were going to have like raster bars, and Mo wanted to code something, and we said, yeah, add like raster bars to the eyes here when it starts blinking and stuff like that. It looks so cool.
And this is your physics thing, and the stars, is that like a color scroller?
This was just some characters moving, and we had used it as a loading part because we had to load so much new stuff
Yeah.
for the next part, like this. This, I think I did the whole graphics and everything introduced to the max. Like the sun and stuff like that.
Yeah, but the logos are sort of, they are in style are the same. It's not PALs where everyone has their own one.
No, those we the Sarge did, but they are all using the same character set, I think, that he did.
But that has to be sprites.
Those are sprites, yes. But also they are using some characters down there to get the reflection.
Ah, okay. And this is LDA SDA.
Yeah, this is LDA SDA.
Super loop unrolling thing.
Yeah, we were trying to do like we wanted to have different views of this, like it was coming down this way and the next shot was going this way, but yeah, we had so little memory left there as well. So I think we put in this effect instead of adding a new angle of the previous effect.
That's also zooming characters.
Yeah. The sprites and characters. The characters are the stars and the. I think this is a sushi thingy. No.
And I should if I forgot to say it, this was also the winner at Datastorm, of course. So.
This is quite interesting. We started to find out that you can scroll. This is just one bitmap. It's not multiple bitmaps.
Oh, okay.
But we found out that you can scroll with the D016 4 pixels on almost any picture, even though they are in perspective, and the eye won't catch it that they are like not scrolling correctly at different places. So we use it on shitloads of effects now.
Ah.
Just scroll just to get one more frame. Scroll 4 pixels to the left. Even though you have it in perspective, it shouldn't look correct. It should be jerky. But the eye just fills it in.
And is that a plot in the sprites?
And these are real-time vectors again. And what I wanted to do here was we had another effect in another previous FairLight Offense demo with a scroll like this, but it was buggy. I wanted to have like a full screen that go from in the border as well, without bugging.
This I like. I mean, I have soft spots for a number of effects, and this one I like a lot.
I think Tron started it in some Legoland with these kind of scrollers.
Yeah, we should have Micke Olsson, Tron, start doing demos again.
Yeah, definitely. So the pressure is not just on me. He should have a higher pressure point.
Yeah, well, I guess his threshold is a bit higher than yours because you have so much tools and stuff prepared, whereas
You never know.
He coded in Turbo Assembler. So.
You never know. Perhaps he spent the last 20 years just writing tools.
Yes, for firewalls.
Yeah.
He did a lot of the stuff, the logics behind the Clavister firewall. So, is this the last one? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
Sad moment.
Sad moment. Truck stop Alaska. We move over to us again. So thanks, Magnus. That was absolutely awesome, and great selection of you there. That so it was Magnus's playlist that we played. I just had to add the Last Truck Stop 3 because I found that to be great. And I teased you that you will see this Bacchus thing.
Yeah.
That was rude of me to miss that.
You have to fast forward it, because I remember when we were chatting in our channels, like when we were doing this demo, like this looks wrong, this looks like this, but I didn't know that he put in something else for that part either. At least the first time I hear about it.
I just don't see it. It's well. You have to
Believe him.
Bacchus sign. Okay, so here is that. We can check my extra screen. So this thing is somewhere in the scrolling background. You have to look for that particular thing. Now you know what to look for. So
I think it is in the first scrolling picture that you mentioned the obscene mountain.
So he had to do something else, and then he made a joke. So Magnus, let's conclude with the future of demo coding for FairLight, PC, 64, Amiga, or are you just doing your wild game thing?
Well, it's definitely lots of stuff.
Is there a bit of an itch?
Well, I had some different ideas that I sent to both Peter Eliasson,
yeah,
a best demo coding friend, and the Sarge. Like, I have something cooking. I have an idea. I might have even done some routines. You never know. But we will meet up soon in Stockholm, so then I can show some stuff. But I'm definitely going to do a demo soon.
I mean, X is up in 2023, so.
But for X, we need to have more coders, because I can't lose against Bob again.
No, yeah, the Star Wars thing, yeah.
I will see.
That sounds a bit promising, and let's do some peer pressure on Magnus here to get back to coding stuff.
I will soon.
And 64 is my preference, but if you choose to kind of rip Matt out of hibernation as well and do something wonderful on the PC as well, that would also be very appreciated. So I'm sure a number of people would like to see new PC demos as well. So
I mean, right now we've been so busy. I guess Smash is equally busy.
Yeah.
Like, this has been a busy period, like the last few years.
This work thing that spoils your the real parts in life, which is coding C64 demos.
Yeah. Especially when you work for yourself.
Yeah.
Like, if you work for someone else, you have you can, when you stop working, you can do your own shit. But you never stop working now.
I've been to your work when you worked for Electronic Arts a few times, and you had so much to do in the initial part of the project and so much to do in the very end, and then it was a bit more calm in the middle. So you actually had a 128 sitting on your desk at your workplace, right?
Yeah, there is a picture. I had like C64, 128. It was an Amiga. It was. Then the office manager came down and said, "Look, we have to shrink this. We need more people. We are hiring more people. They need to have spaces." I was the last one giving up my beautiful spot. I was angry until the day I quit that I had to give it up.
Yeah, so That's what happens when you don't allow your employees to have a C64 on the desk. They quit on you, so don't do that. That's stupid. Cool, Magnus. Thank you so much for taking the time, and I would like to see you in Stockholm in the near future and hang out again. Now with the COVID, we did have a beer, and we couldn't sit on the same table because it was like the restriction was like 4, so we had one table with 4 people and the other table with 4 other people. That was really boring. So we were in the same place, but we couldn't talk. So
I still have my flat in Stockholm, but I have only been there twice this year.
That's good value for money.
Yeah.
So excellent. Thank you so much, and see you in a while.
Yeah.
That was this week's episode of FairLight TV. 2 hours of Pantaloon. 2 good hours. That's 2 good hours of Pantaloon. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I found a number of things that were really interesting. I wasn't really aware that he spent this little time on the Amiga. And this fact that brought him to the C64 being Operation Fastlink. So, Operation Fastlink was a crappy thing for the group of FairLight, but it seemed it had positive side effects for us. And so eventually I could say that I'm slightly happy that Operation Fastlink actually happened. Or at least I now found some parts of it that I could feel were actually good. Thank you so much, and hopefully see you next week. Bye bye.